Oh wait. It's fucking bright here, first off.
Get that fucking camera on my fucking face!
We got to New Orleans and literally did the drums and the bass in like 6 days.
That's what I did on this one, where it just kind of and then caught up.
We're the most boring bunch of people I know. It's the first day in the studio. We should have had some chicks come down and hang out with us. At least even your wife, man. Why couldn't she come down and hang out?
Everyone that goes to New Orleans is there for one reason, just to have fun.
We wanted to get the vibe of the South and get like a different feel than just coming to LA, because we wanted to go somewhere where we could really kick it off, where you can go out and you can go do things.
Every time we play New Orleans, I get a certain vibe, you know, that's there. It's really mellow, but it's a bit creepy and a bit sort of pungent.
Yeah. Actually, this area is a shithole.
The cool thing about New Orleans was that, you know, when you get done in the studio in New Orleans, it's, you know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, you can actually go out to eat still and go to bars and things like that. The sidewalks don't sort of close up. It was just refreshing, you know, go out and blow off some steam.
Undo that, because that's not as good as what we had before. We should just clean up the one we had before and then put in the regular A minor.
How do we find Rob? I mean, we looked at a couple producers for the record. We had some names thrown around early out. A few that we were semi-excited.
Rob was interested, and then we all jumped up and down because we thought he was going to do like 2 songs.
Yeah.
And then like 3 weeks later, we actually found out he was interested in doing the whole record.
Could very well be a mix issue, because I listen to the tone and I go, that tone has a lot of character. If we were to put a heavier guitar under it or inside of it.
Bob does fucking records that we love, such as
Green Day. Like, I looked on that Dookie record and I was like, Rob Cavallo. And you're just like, oh my God.
It hasn't sounded on record the same kind of dynamic than when we have live, or other people says, well, we never really nailed it.
It could be tense, you know. I mean, a lot of times you'd be in the studio 12, 13, 14 hours, and he didn't like to work like that. And when you got tired, you broke, because he felt that, you know, that negative and tired energy would come across on the record. That was
Plus, he likes to nap a lot.
Yes, he does.
So we had a day off yesterday, in which I proceeded to get really sick. I might look like I'm crying. Could be because I was just working on my blues scales. Could be because I'm sick. I've actually been banned from the control room.
Yeah, play it that way. That makes more
Real reason I think this record's different is we had it done pretty much when we went to pre-production with our producer. Like, the songs were 95% arranged as before, where we had, you know, a bridge part missing from a song. So we really went and prepared, and we had the luxury of going out and playing these songs live, you know, a good number of them, and road testing them before we brought it back to the studio. My nickname was Kareem Abdul-Jabbarni Rubble.
The most memorable moment of recording Anthem would be the woman coming in and cleansing the studio in New Orleans.
Les ancêtres qui vivent toujours dans nos mémoires.
It actually was bringing like a goddess of creativity into our environment. She was using cornmeal and like drawing the figure of this goddess on the floor, and then we did the whole ritual and where we all participated in that whole thing.
And just doing that is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Walk over it, or, you know, get anywhere near to mess up the mermaid.
I saw Chris walked over and
I farted by it a little bit.
she's crazy. Like I like interesting people. Else, dude, check it.
Let's see the footage of that.
I wouldn't say our anything that we've done as a band has been common. I think that's what, if we toot our own horn, what sets us apart a little bit, down from the artwork to the merchandising to trying to make things interesting for the fans,
Can't believe we're still here. What, it took like 4 days to do the drums? I knew it was going to take longer than 3 days.
Ready to pack up here. It's 6 p.m. and we are going to go eat at the casino for Roger's birthday. It's Roger's birthday! Well, it's the last day here at Piety Street Studios. Today is the 29th of October. We'll be leaving tomorrow for a week off, and then we head out to Malibu.
Yester's falling and screws they fall out. And I swear it's the last time, and I swear it's my last.
As you can hear by the sounds of the waves crashing against the beach behind you, here we are in Malibu, California. Finish up the record.
As soon as we got out to California, it was completely relaxed because it was like our producer Rob was back to business out there, and we were only working 5 days a week instead of, when we were in New Orleans, we were doing the whole 7 days. So it was at a completely different, relaxed pace. It was like two different worlds doing the record. It was almost like two different sessions. We were presented with like 4 different studios we had an opportunity to work with in around the LA area. And this one seemed like the best because it was a house that we could live and record at.
And it just seemed really open as opposed to like a closed up studio where things tend to get really tense. And this one had like big windows and you're in a house and you're overlooking the ocean. And it's
very, very peaceful and serene. And a lot of times that really helps in making an album because, a lot of times it does get stressful and you're cooped up.
I think recording stopped every day, like at sunset, just for that like 5 minutes.
And happy hour started. So yeah.
Hello, six-pack of confidence.
I've had way too many of these to be doing vocals.
Glad to see you.
There's been a lot of girls inquiring lately about JR's meat.
All a recording studio is one room where you have the microphones and one room where you listen. So there's like really huge rooms where we did some drums in, and we did like the guitars and things like that. And it's really
that was the huge living room I was explaining.
Yeah,
and then the control room where the soundboard was, that was all rented gear and everything that was brought in, that was actually one of their kids' bedrooms.
before you're going da-da. It wasn't extremely professional or anything. We're talking like silk crates on the walls, you know, like yelling down the hallway, "Are you ready yet?" You know, it wasn't like
cords running through holes in the wall.
It doesn't become a pristine recording environment by any
Imagine a fraternity house with some microphones and a mixing board.
Sometimes you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. So this pen is starting to become a pipe bomb, and these songs have turned to anthems again. To everything that's changed, and to everything
everyone else is recording. I've been working on the art for the record.
Conceptually, the idea was to put his lyrics, send his lyrics to people, and then they would do the artwork based on just the lyrics, and try and come up with a piece of art that goes along with that lyric.
Myself, Buddy, and Raj sat down with the names and examples of their artwork and sort of matched up song by song by song by song. Jeff Soto, Shepard Fairey, David Cho, Kurt Halsey Fredrickson. I mean, some gnarly people.
You're feeling more dead than alive.
Like the lyrics definitely on this record are more personal. You know, they're a little bit more, I think about, you know, what you went through growing up as a kid, what a lot of kids are feeling out there. You know, it's Anthem in a way to, it's something for these kids to put on and listen to and go, you know what, I can relate to that.
It's for the anthems for the middle class kid who lives in the suburbs. You know, the kids that are going through divorce or drug abuse or things, you know, having their friends move away.
6 years worth of always being wrong. I made it home from a
Okay. This is the first half.
Is the first half that we ripped off the fucking melody from Ghost, remember? and it goes.
Ripping off yourself, huh?
It goes, fuck. But I've got to sleep it off. Sinking feeling, I was always feeling lost.
To be honest with you, you know, just like life is, some of it's sarcastic and some of it's pissed off and some of it's a bit more melancholy than other ones. And that's what life is, man. Life is not fucking just this one static plane of happy and poppy and about girls, and it has a lot of different elements to it, and that's what our record's about, and I think that is a perfect record.
Rob Cavallo has something like 24 guitars that he brought to the sessions, like his standard guitars that he just brought down.
This is actually Rob's acoustic guitar, the one used by Billy Joe in the Green Day song "Time of Your Life," and my rendition. I won't bore you. I can already hear it, dude. Oh, this sounds different, man, because Chris didn't play guitars. Roger's been playing guitars on the record since Pez Chord. Get over it.
Having a horn section is part of our band. That's the deal.
And all the previous records, we've always done the horn tracks separately. We tried one other record to do them together as a group, but then it just failed miserably. But this time, Jer and I did them together as a section.
This was the first record I recorded with this band. It was totally a new experience for me, learning about myself and then learning about these guys too.
We're lucky to have him, you know, fit so well with the chemistry that we've had, because we've been a band for, you know, over 10 years right now. So to have someone come in and gel and make the puzzle complete, you know, we're lucky to have that.
I wish we were playing instead of sitting on the table. This chili sucks and I just bought it. It really smells and I'm retarded. And we'll talk about it in town.
We've been busting our asses.
So you say, yeah, you want to run that.
Worked so hard.
You're tired of collecting dust to say everything.
So many things to do during the day and so little time it seems.
The amount of work that we put in is, you can't even compare it to what the other guys are doing. No way.
We get up, you know, we're on a rigid schedule, up early bird catches the worm. I'm not to use any adjectives here, but
we burn the candlestick at both ends.
Exactly.
We're sitting here, we're tooting our own horns. But, you know, but, you know, I can't take all the credit.
There are other hands involved here.
That's right.
So it's goodbye to your brand new life. So it's good luck. Best wishes to your black lung. So it's goodbye to your brand new
Rob is part psychiatrist and part producer.
It's not what the band wants to do, dude. You know, okay, well, let me ask you this way then. What do you want me to do then?
You're the producer.
I want you to go. I want you to say, sing over what we got, and I swear I'll be happy, and the issues drop.
When you're talking to Rob, he's the fucking captain of the recording, you know? And he has it all planned out in his head, and what may seem scattered is very methodical.
It's a different feel. He let our songs, you know, for the most part, be our songs. We went in and they didn't really get changed a lot. You know, he was very, very good at just taking the band for what it's worth, letting Vinny be a punk rock drummer and doing what he's going to do on the drums, letting me play the guitar how I play it, not have to have every note perfect.
Yep, so just go to the same part, I'll sing it one more time, and that should be enough. I was almost begging you for just answers.
This time it was definitely more about just kind of like being in the spirit of the part. And even if it's not technically perfect, it would still be, you know.
Yeah, he's about not ruining the vibe.
Yeah.
You're ruining the vibe, man. You can't keep doing takes.
Tension.
You go back to like any old Beatles record or records, they don't have those kind of fucking weird ass rules that we're actually putting out ourselves right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is like
all of a sudden out of nowhere.
a horn out of
nowhere. It was fucking cool.
If you listen to like the Beatles or the Who or like any of those old records from like back in the day, they're not perfect, but that's what gives the charm. It's the energy and the like the harumph and the attitude that came across.
Kind of gets like The Shining here sometimes, where it's just so big, you know. You kind of don't have to leave for anything if you don't want to. So, but it really hasn't really affected anyone except for Chris.
We've been recording for approximately 4 weeks solid. It was Rob Cavallo concentration camp, okay? It was intense, things were tense. There was like a Friday, and he called on the phone, he said,
"What's that? Are you kidding? All right, we'll meet you at your boat. That's awesome. All right, we'll drop everything. Cool, see you there.
Take us to the boat, dude."
And that's how the boat thing happened.
We get out there, Mirror Del Rey, beautiful boat. We get out there and he takes off, and after the initial shock of him taking waves at 50 miles an hour and going crazy, you know, it was like
Jumping the waves.
it was crazy. The boat starts doing this for like 2.5 minutes, and I go, oh shit, here it comes. Mouth starts getting wet, feeling the old puke thing. And I was over the side, and I'm just like,
I go, Chris, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna fucking hate it, and it's gonna be miserable. I'm staying right here because I know my limitations.
And by the way, Rob Cavallo's boat was the last boat ride I'm ever going out of my life. I'm never going on another fucking boat ever again. That was it.
Dear Mom and Dad, I've been making plans to leave this house. Yes,
We went in the studio with like 28 songs. Came out with 15 for the record, and a bunch of B-sides and stuff left over. The preparation of it was the hardest part, because when we got to do the recording, it was a lot smoother than any of our records had been previously.
I worked my ass off on this record. Out of all 27 songs, I sang on all 27 songs.
It actually has no ass.
I played guitar on half of the songs. I played bass on all the songs. I was up later than anybody working on the songs, and I worked my ass off. And just to finally get over the finish line and have the completed thing in my hand, that was when it all kind of seemed worth it.
The last week was a blitzkrieg of sorts. It was crazy. We had a lot of deadlines, had stuff to finish, and we ended up, you know, getting everything done. So it was really important to us, especially for the fans too, to give them more bang for their buck. There's probably higher expectations from the label, and I'm, you know, speaking for myself, you know, I've always had high expectations for the band.
Isn't it? Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright.
What's really been influenced me is my band members. As we grow as a band, what musically, when Chris is getting better on the guitar, it makes me want to be better on the drums. When Raj is, you know, expanding the way he writes a song is making me want to expand the way I write the lyrics and the subject matter and be more mature. So the influence of myself right now is the people that are sitting next to me, you know, musically.
My only friend in life.
So the most important thing, the thing that no young bands do, is that they have to talk to each other a lot.
This lick was right here, and it just was, I was butting heads the whole way through the fucking song. I said that to you last fall, you know my stance on it. My stance hasn't changed.
Because that's really what happens is you can get a band with anybody and be in a band for like 2-3 years, and then after that it breaks up and it ends for some bad reasons because you didn't really like communicate enough. I think if it wasn't us, if any one of us was a different person, then it wouldn't really like have ever worked out the way it did, because we all just kind of we poke fun at each other, but we are honest with each other at the right times.
For the most part, I think, you know, you get out there and you start playing your first show in a garage or something, and you never ever, you know, you always dream of getting to something like this, but you never think it can. And just for me, I never thought it could. We just got in the van and just, like Vinny said, these guys said, started touring and never looked back, and we never gave up.
I think the sound is cool.
Playback. We have fun filming videos. It's a fun thing to do. If it sells records, fine. I'd rather have, you know, people that wouldn't necessarily know of us as a live band, because that's what we pride ourselves on, to watch the video and go, oh, that was entertaining, or that was kind of looked like it was fun. I'll go see the show now.
And we're rolling.
Welcome to a busy, dizzy life.
inner struggle that's going on in her life, her everyday life. On the outside, she has a false facade of being, the popular girl. Everything's under control.
She goes crazy. She can't handle it. She freaks out. She goes mental.
And pretty soon, she's gonna break.
With so many problems in her life, it just comes as no surprise. She's gonna break soon, she's gonna break.
Work from 10 a.m. to right now, it's 11:15 tonight, so we're still going probably another couple hours.
I have a very bad sinus infection, but I managed to get through it with the help of our good friend beer.
We haven't eaten in like 12 hours.
She's gonna break.